Hey guys, you alright? Today I'm bringing you a car review. Stoke Ford, Bristol Street Motors Ford in Stoke have kindly allowed me to have one of their Focuses for a little bit. So I thought, let's do a review then. So, first of all, apologies if my already monotone voice sounds even worse, but that is due to my hay fever just playing up today. My nose is running, my eyes are watering, so probably not the best day for me to do this, but smaller car you ought to see, isn't it? So let's be honest, it's not me. So Ford have kindly lent me this 69 plate Ford Focus 1 litre Ecoboost. It's the 125 horsepower one, or PS, whichever way you're inclined. I know this engine, or like the spec, the 1 litre Ecoboost, I know there's a hype around it and people say it's really good, and it's like, well, for a 1 litre engine, you can't tell it's a 1 litre engine basically. And even though it's got all the hype, I've never driven one, and I was just always sceptical because it's like, well, especially in the Focus with it being a bigger car as well, I thought, yeah, I'm not convinced. I think for a car like this, typically, well, for me anyway, typically you have like a 1.6 diesel or something like that in it, or if it's a petrol, you tend to have like a 1.4 or 1.5 petrol. So I think it's just the fact that I'm so used to the specs of cars like this being like that. I thought the 1 litre it'll be piss poor basically. And to be honest, I'm surprised. I'm pretty surprised. Like, it's really good. It is really good. I mean, not at all can you tell that it's a 1 litre engine. Not at all. I picked this up about an hour ago, and yeah, I do like it. This has got the, let me just have a quick render because my memory is terrible. This has got the 16-inch wheels, which personally I wouldn't go any bigger than. I wouldn't spec the higher option ones because they might look a lot better, and I mean, these ones don't look bad, but the other ones do look better, but I would assume they affect the ride quality somewhat, and the ride quality with these ones, these 16-inch ones, is absolutely fine, and I just wouldn't ruin it just for the looks because these ones don't look bad. I'll overlay a video now of like the outside of the car if you've not already seen it. So yeah, standard features on this: it's got the 16-inch alloy wheels, it's got the armrest, cruise control, it's got the 8-inch touch screen. Just dropped me spec sheet, that's good. It's got the 8-inch touch screen. It's got, these are all standard by the way, front fog lamps are cornering, so the cornering fog lamps, which tend to be standard on a lot of cars nowadays. The options this car has got is it's got the nav system on it, going past all these bloody roadworks. It's got the sat nav, but at the end of the day everybody uses the phone. It's got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard. Everybody's going to use that, and although the Ford navigation system, like I know from previously doing it in my Mustang, the nav system in the Fords is actually good. The one in my Skoda is hopeless. Absolutely hopeless. I wouldn't recommend the Skoda one. I mean, that's the old system, so I'm assuming the new Skoda system is a lot better, but the one in the Ford is actually really good anyway. But nonetheless, to keep it up to date, you do have to pay for the updates, don't you, on the nav systems, because obviously the roads change all the time. So I would always use Android and Apple CarPlay. I'm not completely blown away by the colour, but that's just personal preference, isn't it? I think this is an optional extra for the paint as well. Yeah, so that's the spec of it, the performance of it, and the economy. Obviously, I'm not the first person to have driven this car. Let me have just a look at it. But the average MPG of this for a 1 litre 125 horsepower car is 45.1 miles to the gallon, which I think is alright. I mean, like I say, I don't know what the previous driving has been like. It might have been ragged to hell for all I know. But let's do a reset and then I'll update you later once I've had a drive back. Average is 45.1 miles to the gallon, which is about average, I'd say, for this sort of car. I'm used to a bit more in my Skoda, if I'm honest, but that is a diesel and I tend to do quite a lot of miles in that on the motorway. It's a bit unfair to compare an economical diesel engine to a slightly more powerful, lower petrol. So that is the MPG of it. Practicality wise, when it comes to the space, I mean, for an everyday normal family or a couple or whatever, this car will be more than good enough. It'll be more than good enough. There's loads of space in the cabin area, there's loads of space for the passenger, there's a decent amount of size in the back seats for kids and whatever, and adults, and the boot space is perfectly fine for a normal family, do you know what I mean? I mean, if you've got like 16 kids, then probably not, but if you've got a couple of kids or whatever, it'll be absolutely fine. So yeah, that is the practicality of it. All around good car, really. It always has been, hasn't it? Pardon me. Always has been. It's always been up there, hasn't it, for the typical family car. Oh yeah, we'll just get a Focus. But oh, a horse. Hello. I do like the touchscreen though. So coming on to like the infotainment and stuff, I like the layout of it. I like the layout of it all. I like the screen. I mean, I found it's a bit marmitey. When the screens are just look like they're plonked on. The screens look like they're stuck on and just attached. They've got a screen and just attached it to like the centre console basically. It's in a good position and it's really easy to use. And I like the fact that all the climate controls are all easy to reach, all easily laid out, buttons that you can just press and turn, and it's so much easier when you're driving. And the layout of the buttons everywhere is where you'd expect everything to be. The one thing I will say though is, like I say, I'm not sure who's had this car before me. It's a 69 plate, so it's coming up to potentially like 2 years old now. So it's not an old car whatsoever, this. But the buttons, I'll show you in a minute. I'll overlay a video of the buttons in question. The handbrake, because it's got an electronic handbrake, which I'm never a fan of because it's just bound to go wrong, and it's just bound to go wrong, and it'll be expensive as hell to replace. So electronic handbrake, I just don't see the point of. I think if you're gonna make a cheaper car, more for everybody, why not put things like that down to a budget? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's cheaper and easier to maintain, a mechanical handbrake with a wire. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot cheaper to replace if it goes wrong. I mean, on paper, the mechanical one will go wrong before the electrical one, on paper. But in the real world, well, in the real world, who knows? There's loads of tractors about today. But, where was I now? Yeah, but in the real world, are they going to last as long? And it's going to be a lot more expensive to fix. Anything electrical on a car is more expensive to fix than a mechanical thing. Half the time, anyway. But yeah, I don't know, just little things like that niggle me. But is that just to keep up with the competition? To make it look more upmarket? I don't know. But anyway, it's a feature that I'm not properly used to yet, because I'm always, when I park up outside the house, I'm always reaching for it, and yeah, it's just something I'd have to get used to myself. But yeah, the buttons in question, back to what I was saying, the buttons in question are that parking handbrake button, and well, these are the only ones I've found anyway, of the passenger side mirror down button. I'll overlay the video now of said buttons, and I just wonder, like, how have they broke? How have they got broken? Was it somebody being a bit too cack-handed, or is it bad build quality? I don't know. The buttons that you would have thought would get the most wear would be the driver's side one, not the passenger side one on the driver's side. Because the one on the passenger side's alright as far as I can see. What's going on here? It's just little things like that. It's, why have they broken? Things like that typically don't happen, do they? Let's be honest. So I would have thought it's just someone being a bit clumsy. I really like it. I think for me personally, I'd still get the diesel one, because I do a lot of miles and mainly on motorways, so I'd obviously want the best, like, MPG. But I wouldn't be put off half as much as I was before by the petrol one. You've got a little button here that you can choose the modes. You've got normal mode, eco mode and sport mode. So you have it in normal, obviously it drives like normal. Put it into eco and you feel it sort of calm itself down, like it dumbs itself down quite a bit. Talking about it, now that I've reset the trip computer, it says I'm averaging 54 miles to the gallon. So, and I've been driving around country lanes, not on the motorway. So I've been braking, stopping, there's been roadworks, there's been hills, there's been stuff. So I'm averaging 54.5 miles to the gallon. So it is, off this, it's economical. I mean, I drive, like I said before, I drive like a granddad, so take it with a pinch of salt. But it's quite impressive. That is quite impressive. And I've not been keeping up with the gear changes that they've been suggesting me to. So, yeah, I'm pretty impressed. And I was impressed with the 1 litre Skoda Fabia that I had as a courtesy car. I was impressed with that as well. That really impressed me with, like, economy figures. Very impressed. Petrol definitely is very close to diesels. It really is. Just to round it off, this car has got £850 worth of options on it, and I've told you the options before. So the total list price of this car is 21 grand and £5. Very sorry about that, folks. I do not know what happened with my phone then. Just had a meltdown and said it was too hot. Can't use my phone until it's cooled down. So I had to take the charger out and it was sound. Sorry about that. But where was I? yeah, £20,105. It's, yeah, that's about average, isn't it? Let's be honest, that's about average. Big competitor for it is the Golf, isn't it? Let's be honest, the Golf is the one that everybody bases everything on. That is the one in this category of cars, the Golf. And if I'm honest, I've never driven a Golf, so I don't know what I'm comparing it to. I'm comparing it to my Skoda. I'm comparing it to a Mustang, and it's nothing like them. But it's a very nice car. It is a very nice car. It's all squishy on the steering wheel, so it's nice and comfy. The seats are pretty comfy as well, to be honest. I've not even remotely come across any backaches from driving this just now. The Fabia ones aren't very good at all. But yeah, all around very impressed, if I'm honest. All around I am very impressed. All around I'm very impressed. But I cannot get used to that electronic handbrake. That will take a long time to get used to. Yeah, thank you very much for that today, guys. If you've liked it, I know it's not the best, but if you've liked it, would you do me a massive favour, like and subscribe? It would be the world to me. And yeah, I'll catch you at the next one. Cheers, thank you, bye bye.